With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the lamp of Dharma for all bewildered misery's gloom. Okay. Setting a proper motivation, which consists of three parts. One, a refuge, visualization of the refuge field, which consists of visualizing all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and the author of the text, Bodhisattva Shantideva. And Bodhicitta field, your two kind parents on the two sides, all your family members, and all dear mother sentient beings around you. And point number three, the purpose of this practice, the purpose of this class and the practice is finally to unravel the hidden treasure of the lasting happiness which exists within each one of us, which is also referred to as the Buddha nature, temporarily obscured by mental defilements, which consists of two parts: self-grasping, afflictive obscurations, and cognitive obscurations. Afflictive obscurations consisting of afflictions such as attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth, and their corresponding contaminant karmas, the 10 non-virtuous actions, and finally the active seeds, the latent seeds of afflictions and the karmas. And the cognitive obscuration in the form of misperception, seeing things as objectively real, while in reality things are all dreamlike, all subjectively existent. And keeping in mind that the purpose of this class and a meditation is finally to cleanse our mind of these mental defilements, and imagining that all sentient beings are joining you and you are leading this prayer. With that in mind, let's turn to page 2 of the prayer book. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel the perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel the perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel the perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, a supreme among all teachers, one who taught this speech, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mother of the Buddhas and of the hearers and Bodhisattvas, who through the knowledge of all leads hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, who through knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through possession of omniscience, the subduers set forth the varieties having all aspects. We can have the mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tathagato hyavatat teshan chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramana svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tathagato hyavatat teshan chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramana svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tathagato hyavatat teshan chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramana svaha. The meaning of the mantra: all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the great seer. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate a mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay. Now what we'll do is we will do the practice of the four immeasurables. Before which we will do 5 minutes breathing meditation. 5 minutes breathing meditation. Okay. Since that there are some of you who are new to meditation, there are 4 things to keep in mind for meditation. 1, the body posture. The body posture wise, just sit upright, and if you could sit cross-legged, well and good. If not, don't worry. That is not mandatory. And then the more important thing is sit upright. Sit upright, and then unless you have back pain or leg problems or back problem, otherwise I would very much suggest that you keep your body upright. Don't lean against anything like the chairs or walls or whatever. Should you have back problem, then of course that is a special case. Otherwise sit upright. That is a tremendous difference in a meditation. And then your head just tilted a little forward, and then the eyes. The most important thing is eyes not closed. Eyes not closed. Should you be doing your meditation with eyes closed, or should you have encountered any teacher who encouraged you to do your meditation with eyes closed? Okay, that is fine. You do that meditation with eyes closed, but this meditation, do it with eyes open. Eyes open. And should you learn how to do meditation with eyes open, that would have a tremendous benefit. Where you can do, then eventually you will learn how to do meditation with eyes closed as well as with eyes open. 45 degrees, eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down. 45 degrees cast down. And the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate. Tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth. Then your right hand on your left hand, and the tips of the 2 thumbs joining, forming a triangle, and placing the 2 hands on your laps in a restful state. And breathe very naturally. Breathe very naturally. Okay. So this is the body position. Now the object of meditation, the focal point. The focal point is the place between your nose. Of course, keep in mind that there are so many kinds of meditation. So many kinds of meditation. So what we are doing here is the most simple one. The most simple one. The focal point is between your nose and the upper lip. This is the focal point. As you focus your mind there, multitasking. Breathe in, breathe out. Count the breath. As you focus your mind there, count the breath, breathe in, breathe out, cycle 1. Breathe in, breathe out, cycle 2. So for 5 minutes, at times it could be 100 cycles. For others, could be 60 cycles. It doesn't matter. So it depends on the length of your, it depends from individual to individual. Okay, this is the focal point. Now the next point is the errors of meditation. What errors can potentially be there in your meditation? 2 errors. One is mental excitement, mental excitation, where your mind starts wandering, your mind starts scattering and excited. So that is one flaw. And the other flaw is where the mind feels laxity. Mind feels lax, and the laxity seeps in you. So where your mind feels so heavy, physically so you feel so heavy and non-serviceable. So how to avoid the 2 errors? That is the 4th point, by resorting to the 2 remedies. And what are the 2 remedies? One is mental introspection, and the other one is mindfulness. Introspection is where you keep an eye on your own mind to see whether your mind is still on the focal point or it is already distracted. Distracted, or it is in a lax state. And should you see that your mind is distracted or in a lax state with the help of the introspection, then your job is to apply the next remedy, which is mindfulness, which is like the rope. If you see that you have lost your dog, then you go to look for search of the dog. Finally, you find the dog. What do? You tie the dog with the rope and bring it back and tie it at the pillar, to the pillar at your home. Likewise, the mindfulness is like the rope, and as you tie the mind with your mindfulness, bring it back and tie it to the pillar of your focal point between the nose and the upper lip. So this is a very quick introduction to the meditation. So this is what we're going to do the next 5 minutes. Okay, with that in mind, 5 minutes. Page 8, the yellow book, what page is it? Page 9? Okay, page 9, page 8, whichever. Okay, 7 times, the mantra together. Yata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Okay, now of the 4 immeasurables, we will do the immeasurable number 1 and immeasurable number 2, the practice of the 4 immeasurables. We start here, although it is there in the text, but what we're going to do is more in the form of guided meditation. In the form of guided meditation, the 4 immeasurables, we will do the first 2 immeasurables, immeasurable loving kindness and immeasurable compassion. Okay. Let us reinforce the visualization of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Let us reinforce the visualization of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, and your 2 kind parents, and all your family members, all dear meditation beings around you. And purpose of what the practice of the 4 immeasurables, and particularly the first 2, is to finally unravel the hidden treasure, which is the final source of happiness, the greatest of the sources of happiness for yourself and for all the dear sentient beings. by eliminating the self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. Self-grasping ignorance to be eliminated by the wisdom of emptiness, and self-centered attitude to be eliminated by bodhicitta, which cherishes others more than oneself. And imagining that all sentient beings, they are joining you, and you are leading this group. You are leading this meditation on the four immeasurables. Okay, the first one, immeasurable loving kindness. In the process of what we are doing, just let your mind flow in the present moment. In the present moment, in accordance with the instructions that I'm giving, just see how much you can invoke the respective experiences. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The causes of happiness primarily consisting of bodhicitta, which cherishes others more than oneself, and the wisdom of emptiness, which sees everything as dreamlike, as illusion-like. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy, they're intensely proud of you. The way the mother feels so proud and happy over her eldest daughter, over her eldest son, making such a courageous commitment, saying, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. Now I'm already grown up. I'll take care of all my siblings." Imagine that very moment, for the first time, how proud your mother will feel, how happy your mother will feel. There's tears rolling down her cheeks. This exactly is what is happening to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, seeing that you are making such a courageous commitment. And this pride and happiness all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel, invoke their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies and beings of yours instills in all happinesses and the causes of happiness, primarily bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness, in the minds of all dear sentient beings in yourself. And you, witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the dear sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sighing with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The causes of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy, they're intensely proud of you, and this pride and happiness invokes their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies and beings yours washes away all miseries and the causes of the suffering from the minds of all dear sentient beings. And you, witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the dear sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscoring all the 4 immeasurables, and particularly the 2 which we did now, immeasurable loving kindness and immeasurable compassion, is the unconditional love towards all dear Mother sentient beings. Imagine that you are now looking at the faces of each and every dear Mother sentient being, reassuring them that I'm there to take care of you until Buddhahood. Why should you worry? To the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. Abide in this experience of the unconditional love that you've cultivated now. Okay, with that in mind, with folded hands, I'll say a line of commitment to general Bodhicitta, and let's all say this 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear Mother sentient beings. Abide in this courageous commitment of Bodhicitta, to become Buddha, to become fully enlightened for the benefit of all dear Mother sentient beings. Abide in this courageous mind of Bodhicitta for a while. Slowly transform this very beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean white moon disk, horizontally sitting at your heart. Oh, it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. But how can you become one of those Buddhas? What guarantees you that you can potentially become a Buddha? Yes, of course, there's a Buddha nature present within me and within each and every sentient being. So this is what guarantees me of achieving that. But how can I achieve that? Given that this is hidden, this remains hidden due to the afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. Afflictive obscurations grounded to self-grasping ignorance, and the cognitive obscuration grounded on self-centered attitude. And finally seeing that both can be eliminated with the force, with the push of the bodhicitta by meditating on the wisdom emptiness. What is the wisdom emptiness? And of course, we can't expect the wisdom emptiness to be introduced very quickly in such a short period of time, but let's give an attempt. What does it mean by wisdom emptiness? To see things as they are. How the Buddha delineated as the 3rd seal of the 4 seals of the Buddha's teaching, when the Buddha said all composing things are impermanent, all contaminated things are of self-nature, everything is of the nature of emptiness, selflessness, transcending sorrow is nirvana. Of these 4 seals, the 3rd seal, which the Buddha delineated as everything is of the nature of emptiness, selflessness, this is what constitutes ultimate reality. So how do we know? How can I possibly understand it? How can I possibly meditate on it? Okay. According to this seal, the dictum has it that all phenomena, they are like dream. Nothing is objectively real. In the dream, you might have a nightmare, meeting with a dream ghost, seeing that this is a real ghost. You wake up from the sleep and you see that the fear dissolves. This is because of this discovery that this dream ghost is empty of being real. This dream ghost is simply a dream. It's nothing from the object. It's purely from the subject. Likewise, everything that exists, yourself, the friends around you, Tibet House, India, everywhere, every people, every person, every place in this universe, they're all dreamlike. How can we know that? Okay, very quickly. Think of yourself. How does this person appear to you? Oh, it's so objectively there, not like dream. But how do we know that this person exists like that? I could see that. Your perception could be very wrong. Yes. How can it be wrong? There are perceptions much more refined than your ordinary eyesight. Like what? Like electron microscope. Okay, I'm trying to take all of us into a very simplistic meditation emptiness. Imagine that you are looking at yourself through an electron microscope. As we keep observing the self, you keep fine-tuning the electron microscope. What do you see now? I see the thin layer of skin. This is not me. And beneath that, I see a thin layer of fatty tissue. That is also not me. Beneath that, the muscles, the skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the pancreas, the stomach. None of these is the self. There is the element of earth, the solid part of the body. Element of water, the blood which is being pumped in and out by heart. That is also not me. Element of fire, the body heat is also not me. Element of air, the air which I breathe in and out through my lungs is also not me. Element of space, space is the vacuum part of me, and I'm a solid person. That is also not me. Element of consciousness. Consciousness does not have a gender. I'm a female, I'm a male, I have a gender. Whereas my consciousness or the mind does not have a gender. So therefore, this mind as well is not me. Element of consciousness is also not me. Seeing that none of these six elements is the self. Where's the self now? Oh, no way I can see the self. The self disappears. Self is empty. It does not mean that self does not exist. It does exist, but not exist the way it appears to us as so objectively and independently out there. What happened to this? What are you seeing now? I'm just seeing these six elements. Element of earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. And none of these is the self. Where's the self? Oh, it is not there. It is empty. Abide in this experience for a while. Although this is not the full-fledged experience of emptiness, for time being, let's say this experience of emptiness, and slowly transform this wisdom into a spotlessly clean, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the moon disk at your heart. Now imagine that this moon and Vajra, moon which symbolizes the conventional Bodhicitta, Kunzup Chanjusim, and Vajra which symbolizes the ultimate Bodhicitta, Thundam Chanjusim. And conventional Bodhicitta, the moon, is one which will eliminate your self-centered attitude, and Vajra is the one which the ultimate Bodhicitta, or the wisdom of emptiness, which will eliminate the self-grasping ignorance. Once that is done, then your mind is totally free, then you become a Buddha, you become a fully enlightened person. You can emanate yourself infinite number of times simultaneously all over the universe, here on the planet Earth, in other planets, wherever there exist human beings. Not, of course, other than the planet Earth, there is no trace of the humans or sentience in the other planets, but of course there are billions and trillions of solar systems in the Milky Way galaxy. Of course, there you will see infinite number of planets which could sustain the human life or lives. Likewise, there are so many galaxies. Milky Way galaxy is just one of the billions and infinite number of the galaxies. In all of them, there are millions and trillions, infinite numbers of life sources, places where the life inhabits. Okay, imagine that you are sharing this moon and Vajra which you have generated now with each and every one of your family members, your mother, father, all sentient beings, everyone in the universe. Meanwhile, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're watching you. And today, since time immemorial, until today, we have done nothing really good to make all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas happy. But today we made it. We did it. We generated this too. This is what all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel so proud, so happy of you. And this is indeed the greatest gift that you can offer to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and to your meditation beings. And this joy and the pride all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel invokes their Munivajra within themselves in the form of full-fledged version to replicate, to proliferate infinite number of times. In barrages, they descend to merge with the one that you have visualized, that you have generated at your heart and at the hearts of your mother, father, all your family members, everyone here in Tibet House, everyone here in Delhi, everyone in India, everyone in the world, everyone in the entire universe. So this merging blesses and stabilizes the Vajra moon which you have generated within yourself and shared with all dear sentient beings. Okay, abide in this experience for a while.